Hey, Lily with Living Room Realty here in Portland, Oregon, here to give you your monthly market update for the month of September. It has been a very interesting time in real estate, so I'm really excited to dive right in here with you. First off, we're going to look at the numbers, which I want to acknowledge are the numbers from August. So in the market we are in, where there's been a lot of shifts and change that can shift, frankly, weekly, I want to look at the numbers. I think it is relevant for us to look at, but then I really want to spend more of our time talking about anecdotally what we're seeing here as we are already a good deal into September, and also some of the data and interesting facts we can look at for September. That way I can give you the best information if you are a home seller or prospective home buyer here in the Portland area. Okay, so first off, for the numbers, new homes did actually see a decrease, which is not abnormal. We've talked about before, August is a very slow time in real estate. People are getting in their last vacations. Frankly, it's warm and beautiful out. Not as many people want to be focused on real estate and doing serious things. So it is normal to see that. We saw 3,209 homes go to the market, which, by the way, compared to like the beginning of the year is incredible still, but that was a decrease of 14%. But we did see an increase when it came to pending sales and sold homes. So pending sales went up by 3% with 2,530 homes going under contract, and then closed sales saw an increase of 8% with 2,581 homes going to new homeowners. So that really shows us that while there was this decrease of activity, especially on the seller side, I think a lot of sellers, one, obviously with this being August, but also just aren't as motivated at the moment because they're seeing that they aren't having that super advantageous market that they had in the last 2 years. So that's probably playing the biggest role in that. But it is interesting to see that even with rising interest rates we have right now, motivation from buyers did see somewhat of an uptick with that 3% rise of impending sales and 8% rise in sold homes. So interesting thing to note there. And with that disparity between new listings and pending sales and sold homes, we did, unfortunately for you buyers, see a decrease in inventory back down to 1.8 months of inventory, meaning if we were to have no new homes come on the market, we'd be out of homes in just under 2 months. Last month, we were really excited to see we finally made it right back up to 2 months of inventory again, which we haven't seen since, I believe, May of 2020. So it does kind of put us in a place where I think this is a really interesting part actually to talk about, because we're going to talk more about the market and where we are at in regards to being a seller's market versus a buyer's market. Technically, while we are seeing buyers have more opportunities in this market, we are still heavily in a seller's market. That is just the facts. It sucks. We have these higher interest rates, so that makes it harder for both buyers and sellers. But we are still heavily in a seller's market, and I want to point that out because I still get questions all the time as to if the market will crash or anything of that nature with economic uncertainty. And when you just look at the facts that a balanced market is 6 months of inventory and we have 1.8, that really shows us that we're still heavily in the seller's favor, and why we talk, frankly, about inventory of homes so much in real estate, because it doesn't lie. It's a good indicator of where we are. So yeah, I want to kind of bring up that context here in the beginning. And then one thing also to note on that is, as we're going to be talking about the difference in the market we're seeing right now as to about buyers having opportunity and all of that, it's important to note that average sales price is still on the increase. So I'm curious to see what that number will be next month, because we are seeing a record more amount of price reductions recently. So I did notice, if we're talking about current activity versus last month. So quickly I'll say last month, we did see average sales price increase again, and that was to $619,000. So we're still seeing prices go up on up. But I will say, if we look at the more current data, which I looked at the Altos report, a report that's put out by, we are given by a title company, that one, we did see a 54% increase in price reductions from listings in the last 7 days. I looked at this last on Tuesday. So we have seen a more increase. This is what I'm talking about. Like, even as I'm saying it, it feels a little messy, a little bit convoluted. So kind of the point I'm making is we have the data from last month, but things have changed so much recently that you kind of have to take everything with a grain of salt. And really it all comes down to what your particular scenario is. So let's talk about September. So in this month, we have seen the beginning of the month, we saw this like huge boost in activity. All of a sudden I was getting calls from my buyer clients who saw no new listings in August, say that 14% lower activity. And all of a sudden they were like, oh my God, there's like 7 houses we want to see. We're super excited. And that also shows they are motivated. Buyers, even with higher interest rates, the people that want to buy and can buy are motivated and want to buy your house if you are a seller. They're super excited. We saw a bunch of new listings to the market. Things were looking really good. Like we were going to get back to this fall market. And it was great. And I even have sellers. I had a seller over, 2 weekends ago who we got his house on the market. We did all the things right that you should do in this market, which I'm happy to do another video about or talk with you about, which was we prepped his house to the nines, made sure everything looked great, even talked about staging, things of that nature. And then we priced it really, really well. With his house, that same weekend that I was talking about buyers being super active and going out, we were able to get him 4 offers. Now, were they the offers, I'll be honest, that you would have gotten 6 months ago, where it would have been all over asking, no terms for the buyers, anything of that nature? No, buyers did ask for more than they would have in the past, but were we able to get him a really, really solid offer that he's super happy with that was above list? Yes, we were. So again, there's all these things within this market where we'll say, a ton of price reductions on properties, making great opportunities for buyers. But then it also really depends on, what the price point is, what the house is. So I don't want a seller to hear that and think, oh crap, well, there's no opportunity for me to sell my house and make good money. There still is. You just want to make sure you're prepping it in the right way and that we have the right expectations of what you're going to get. But there is still good opportunities for you. And again, we are still in a seller's market. So for buyers, I will say too, there's a lot more houses coming on the market in general. So in the last few weeks, we saw a bump in inventory. Sellers are ready to enter into the fall and go and actually sell their properties. But the one caveat that has happened in the last week or so, and this is where I say things are going to be so different week to week, is we did see interest rates go up again. And unfortunately, they did pop into the 6% range, which was really hard for buyers, and I feel it hitting the market. So buyers are in a place where maybe they would look at a home that was near the top of their budget, knowing, hey, there is the potential that we can get it closer to this price. But then they see what that mortgage is gonna be. They talk to their lender, because if you have a good lender, you talk to them about the prices of the homes before you even go and see it. And it's just putting them in a place where they're like, oh, crap, I can't even really think about buying this house right now because of where interest rates are. So I guess that's like my main point of today. I mean, there's so much convoluted, I hope this all made sense stuff here, but the main point is if you are a home buyer or if you are even a home seller, pay attention to where interest rates are, because that is determining so much in the market right now. Obviously it does in general, but in the last few years when we had those, interest rates in the 2s and 3s, it wasn't a huge concern. People were super, super jazzed. I mean, it did affect the market because it boosted prices like crazy, but it didn't have the effect it is right now, where week to week we are seeing buyers actively shifting what houses they're seeing and what they are doing based on those interest rates. So I wanted to say that. One little last thing, I know I'm getting like a super long video today, is for buyers who are thinking, should I hold off because of these interest rates? It's really a personal thing. So same with a buyer or seller right now. I want to make that point too. Everything is so determinant on your price point and what area you are in. So please come and talk to us if you have any questions about what you should do and what your timeline should be, because it's so particular in this market right now. I can't really give a general answer. But in terms of if you should wait to buy if interest rates are going to go down, I will say we are hoping to see that interest rates should come down in the new year. That is what I'm hearing from most lenders I have talked to and what I see from economists. So we should see rates go down. But there is the caveat that I did hear one lender say that when rates come back down, you should see home prices boom again, because we still have low inventory. So when there is going to be more money available for people, more affordable money available, they are going to start doing that offering up again. So it's really a scenario where you got to really adjust and understand what's going to work for you. If you are in a place where you can't simply afford a home because of interest rates right now, it's a great thing to hear that rates are going to come back down. But just know that if you are someone that can swing the rates right now, you're not married to that rate. You can always refinance or refigure that out later. But if you were to wait, even if you could afford a house right now, if you were to wait, there is the really good chance that prices of homes are going to burst up again once money becomes more affordable. So again, that's kind of just another example of how you really want to make these decisions based off of your needs, your timelines personally versus what you're hearing about the market right now, because it can really determine whether or not you're even going to get into a home, whether you can sell your property, all of that. So this one was a lot. There's a lot going on in the market right now, but we do have the data. We do have the historical knowledge of what things are. So I promise if we talk together, we can come up with a solution for your real estate needs. Hope that all made sense. Hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions for me, my contact information will be below. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to follow. That way you can keep along with everything else that we put out. And yeah, hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks.